Alright, welcome to the Meta Report. I am Hate Mail, and with me today we have Luke, Kage, and DP0427. And today we're talking about Shazam Jr., or as Luke likes to call him, Lil So Luke, I know you have him L5 already.
I do.
You're a super whale. And,
Hey, how many packs did you buy, dude?
I bought 3 packs, and I bought 2 of the $25 packs.
Oh my god.
So that's $350 US.
And then I saw in Alliance chat that you were worried about running out of your 54,000 gems before Thursday.
Yeah!
What? Oh my
First
god.
problem. Somebody figure out how to make 56,000 gems last till Thursday.
What could you be spending it on?
So, unlike you guys, I took a big break in the game, and some of the characters that I really want to use are not upgraded yet. So I'm missing out. I need, like, materials and rings. I mean, if you need rings, that's like 10,000 gems per character at least.
Oh yeah.
So, you know.
You're always running out of green essence, so you always.
And I'm always out of green essence, so like that's 500 gems per 250.
I can't get below 125 million green essence anymore.
I'm kind of jealous of that.
You never upgrade anyone, Hate. That's why.
I have everyone upgraded.
No, but you don't need to upgrade anyone. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, like my tunes, I still have like you. I know that the slow gearing is a thing, and that's a whole topic in itself. But I don't have that issue because I have I don't know. I think I have 6 characters that are super low level, like not geared at all.
Yeah, I only have 2, but and I do it on purpose because I have to. But anyway, so let's get on to Junior here, and we'll call him Junior so I don't have to beep edit every 5 seconds on this podcast. But so, what are your initial thoughts of him, Luke? Like just overall as a character?
Underwhelming.
Yeah.
He's a little sad.
So like Roz sad or just
no
Superboy sad?
He's all right. I'm going to tell you why I say he's sad. So I'm going to compare him to Black Adam.
Well, see, that's not a fair comparison.
See, man, you can't compare everyone. Man, see, that's why everyone's high on that Black Adam smoke. Like, you can't compare everyone to Black Adam.
But this character, you kind of have to, because that's who he's competing with. If I'm going to take this character into a battle, based on his kit, right? So it's interesting because his 3, Fury of Hercules, hits really, it does good damage. It does really good damage. It does one thing wrong, though. If you take that legendary, it applies 2 affinity resistance ups to all allies. That right there can get your team killed.
Yeah.
So I'm like mixed about that one.
Well, this goes back to the problem.
I'd rather it be a negative. Like, I'd rather it be a debuff on the other side than a buff on my side.
This goes back to the same problem that, Wonder Girl ruins the fun for everyone.
Right.
Right.
But some of his kit is good, and I didn't get to really start playing around with it until yesterday for when I was able to finally, bring him all the way to L5. I'll start off with 1. So 1 does terrible damage against reds. Like, it's almost no damage. But if he were to hit a green, it's not bad. And then the 50% chance to apply buff immunity definitely feels like it happens more often than not. And the buff immunity is a good thing. It's good.
Well, and I think they made it such low damage because of the ability to proc it regularly.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, but it's not terrible damage. It's just not Black Adam damage.
Yeah.
He is squishy, for sure. He is not a tank. Very similar to Black Adam in that respect. His 2, which is His 2 doesn't really do anything. It you apply 2 crit damage downs to all enemies with like super duper. He's very similar to Penguin. Like that's like that Penguin move.
Yeah, except you don't do the turn meter.
You don't do the turn meter down. Instead, it's basically the exact same thing, except instead of turn meter down, you have a 50% chance. No, not 50% chance. You have a 100% chance to apply heal immunity if at least one of the characters is below 50% damage health.
Which isn't a very difficult thing to proc.
No, it procs almost every time as long as you use it at the right moment.
Which I noticed in a lot of videos I saw of people using him that have him geared, that they open with this move, and I really don't understand
No,
why
big
people
mistake.
do. Yeah. I mean, if you're getting rid of Donna Troy awareness, sure, that makes sense. But
That's a waste of an AoE.
yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we'll go down to his 3, which is the heavy damage.
Which that thing hits like a freaking truck.
It is. It's heavy damage. It's not as heavy damage as Black Adam's.
I would disagree on that because against an energy character, I've seen it crit for I want to say 78,000 damage.
Oh my god!
It's because he's a support, right? Supports have crazy crit damage.
Yeah.
His crit damage is insane. Problem is that a lot of the energy characters that you use that against have death immunity, and it doesn't purge like Black Adam's.
Correct.
Loot,
There's no purge.
I think the best comparison for Loot, like when Loot was comparing him to Black Adam, what about comparing him to Blue Beetle? Isn't? He's the same type of gear set. He's a mystic, and they both have certain types of those sort of support abilities, right? So,
but
Here's a
Fury
mixed
even
tank,
when it
bro.
doesn't crit, it does crazy damage.
okay, I know that these are mixed, but I'm saying
All right.
that
If you want to
anyway.
compare him to Blue Beetle, he's like S tier compared to Blue Beetle.
Exactly.
Blue Beetle is terrible. They should not only should they rework him, if they don't rework him, they should take him out of the game completely. And don't put him in any alliance missions because it's ridiculous. It's painful to use him.
Oh, he just drags the team. He just drags everyone down worse than Etrigan.
It's terrible. So bad.
Anyway,
Which,
we
speaking of alliance missions, I can't wait for Black Adam's alliance mission. Can you imagine just blowing through all the HCs?
Oh, it's gonna be wonderful.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh, I was going to talk about that on the last recording with the Black Adam, but it's fine. we're past that. So.
All right, so the 4th skill is called Retaliation. When an enemy deals a critical hit, 50% chance for Shazam Jr. to use Flip Punch. It happens a lot. It definitely happens a lot. The 50% feels higher.
Well, that's because the enemy AI always seems like they crit every attack anyway. So
Yeah, that's a very good possibility. It also works like when he's hit via AoE. So it doesn't just have to be a direct hit. It can be more of like an AoE hit too. And
well, it doesn't have to be him that's hit. That's the nice thing. It could be anyone. It's just when an enemy deals a critical hit.
So here's the thing. I think Lil Jr. has a role. Lil Jr. He's got a role against, being an anti-atrocitus. Yeah, so anti-atrocitus guy, and he's going to be anti-Deadshot hired gun. That's how I think.
Yeah, well, I don't know so much about it. Deadshot higher gun, just because. I mean, he's just going to do a
kill
little
him.
flip punch, and that doesn't do much damage.
Sure.
And he does apply a heal immunity with the legendary.
Which that's pretty nice. I mean, I think it's. I don't know why they keep giving us anti-atrocitus. We had Mr. Freeze, now we have this. Where is the Batgirl? That's what I want to see. The anti-Batgirl. I know
It's not coming. That's why they put her in the showdown.
It's funny you say that because when we were reading the description on Reddit before they released the character, and they said he turns. What did they say? That he turns the strength into a weakness, right? Of the opposite of, but they didn't mention physical. They just said in general, he has the ability to turn a strength into a weakness. When I heard that, I was like, this guy is going to be meta-changing, amazing. He's going to turn evasion up into evasion down. It's going to be this is it. We got it. We got what we wanted. He's a tune that there's no other character that can do that. This is just phenomenal. It didn't happen.
I think you played yourself, bro, because you just said your expectations so high.
Yeah.
Well, I was reading into it, and it just, I don't know, don't write it that way.
Now, Lou, you touched on a really good idea, and maybe not Shazam Jr., but maybe for the future, and the devs, if you're listening to this sounds like a really good idea for characters that are more magical-based, like actual literal using magic, like Mix's Pitalik.
Like Zatanna?
There we go.
Zatanna could be... But let's introduce... Zatanna's probably going to get reworked, but she's going to stay close to her original kit. But a new character like Zatara, her father, for example, could be, or what's his name? Felix Faust, for example, is another one. Like actual magicians that can turn something from a positive to a negative or a negative to a positive.
Yeah,
right?
just turn all the evasions into bleeds. I'd be okay with that.
I mean, what Lute was saying makes complete sense to me. Like turns evasion ups to evasion downs, or evasion downs to evasion ups, hit chance up to hit chance down, etc., right? So like bleeds to men's to bleeds, etc.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. It really sounded that way, and I was like, wow, this is going to be amazing.
So that's a really interesting game mechanic, and I could definitely see a magical-based character doing that. So
that would be cool.
I like that. I like that idea. Too
So
bad we didn't get it.
I like that idea, and I like the idea of give us something, introduce new skills, like new, what are they called? New buffs and new debuffs. Mm-hmm. Gives us something, like introduce new things for us to play with, because it's just every single character that comes out now, it's just sort of tweaking what's already out there.
And they've done that a little bit. I mean, when Awareness came out, it was new, but it's been a while. And then
it's been a year and a half.
Well, and I thought there was potential for new stuff when they made Two-Face the way he is. So he's got the, he's either Harvey or Two-Face, and that was a neat mechanic, so they could do something similar, or something something different, but using that type of mechanic. But I'm with you. I'd like to see. I mean, in the other game we used to play, they essentially did the same thing. You had stuns, but then you had knock-ups and knockdowns. So there was 3 different mes effects that all basically did the same thing. Like knockdown in this game could be an easy addition. Treat it just like stun, but your characters get knocked down. It's the same thing, but then characters that have stun resistance aren't resistant to knockdown, so you kind of have that extra play.
And then you could have characters that, when knocked up, applies X debuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of little things they could do. I kind of like the idea of stasis from that game.
Stasis is cool.
Because you say, okay, let's take Wonder Girl, for example. You put her in stasis. She isn't stunned. She can't be damaged.
But she can't do anything.
She's removed from the battle for X amount of turns. So say character goes into stasis for 3 turns.
Yeah, you can't hurt her, which is okay. You just literally lock her up.
Her passives turn off too, because she's not there.
Oh, I like that idea. I'm going to have to make a big post on Reddit about that.
I like
lock her up.
Yeah.
You give her time. You put her in timeout.
Yeah, you give her a timeout. They can even call it timeout.
Yeah.
Your little girl, just stay in the corner for a bit. Let the adults deal with this over here, and then come back when we're ready for you.
You look at that wall and think about what you did.
You can't be just throwing his whips around like no one's business.
All right, so we're super off topic, so let's go to his last power, Equalization.
His last one is Equalization. It is definitely a unique skill. We haven't seen this before, but this is not what we were just talking about at all. This is different, but I don't know if it's the right different. So when a physical enemy deals damage to Shazam Jr., apply 5 affinity resistance down. And if you have legendary, apply 1 affinity resistance down to all enemies. So I've got this to trigger a lot of times, it's cool that it procs. I just don't feel that it does enough.
That's my problem with Resistance. It's a
It
neat
doesn't
idea,
do anything.
a really neat skill, but it doesn't seem to do anything.
It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, physical characters, they have 5 affinity resistance down, and they'll do just as much damage as they did before, it feels like.
We need Ogre on this show to explain us all this stuff. He knows this stuff really well.
Oh my God!
It's
Shut
like
the
swallow
hell
whole
up.
team.
I wish it did more, because I do think this would help with, I mean, your Mystic characters, or your, especially Mystic versus Physical, that just get slaughtered by them. It would really kind of balance the playing field a little bit. When his kits were first announced, I actually wasn't going to buy a pack, and I wasn't going to gear them, and I went ahead and did it. I took all the affinity. I have him L3, and I took all the affinity abilities just to see how it works. And I was testing it with other characters like Raven. I was testing it with Supergirl. I was testing it with, it just doesn't. It doesn't seem to do enough.
Uh-huh.
I like it. It's a neat idea, but they need to buff the skill itself.
I agree. They need to buff the skill. It's okay to have the skill. Just make it actually effective.
Yeah.
Make us want to use it. There's a lot of characters out there that can do affinity resistance either up or down. Well, not so much down, but there's a lot of ups. Make it more powerful.
I agree. So what would you say for legendary order based on all of that?
I don't know. They're so situational. I would say
I think I like his 2 first, personally. His 2 or 1.
his 2 is good because of the heal immunity. Totally agree with you on that. The 1 procs a lot.
Yeah, maybe
So
1
even
first.
though it's
Buff
50%,
immunity's really good.
it really does work. I actually, when I first got him, I had him L3, so I did 1, 2, 3. Just because those looked the most useful.
Yeah.
I would say 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5.
You want to go 5 last. It really doesn't. It's an ineffective skill.
I would say 1, 2, 4, 3, 5 would probably be the order.
Which one's the 50% heal immunity? The 3?
No, the 3 is the apply affinity resistance ups to all allies. I actually think I would take 3 last.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would do 1, 2, 4, and then leave off 3 and 5 because you don't never need them.
I mean,
Take him to L3.
if you went L4, leave off 3, because that way you don't kill your team with all the affinity.
Yeah, you'll end up killing yourself.
I mean,
God,
Wonder Girl wasn't a
I
thing.
end
I'd
up
take it
killing
sooner,
myself.
God, that girl was nerfed twice already. I thought she wasn't an issue anymore.
but okay. that's my response to that. Okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
She's not a problem. You can kill her with higher gun dead shot.
You know
Well,
what's
you can
funny
ki-
about that?
you can kill her with Black Adam.
PSHG? I don't use that combo at all with her. M4. He is my Grandmaster Sensei, and what he has me do is use Red Robin and AW Lex.
That's what I use most of the
I mean-
time. The only time I don't is when I want another character to AoE and kill off. Because especially in Siege, like right now in Siege, I'm using Starfire. Since I rebirthed her, she does insane damage before
She's
rebirth.
insane.
So I'll run Red Robin, Hired Gun Deadshot, Starfire, and then Shazam. That's been my kind of go-to team.
It's like my exact team.
So then I Red Robin to Starfire, nuke, because there's always 2
Mhm.
reds, it seems like, on a team. If it's not Batgirl, anyway. And then destroy all the reds, and then it's game over from there.
I ran
My
that team.
my
literally just-
Starfire is so
you-
strong. She's
I ran that
R2.
team.
Hey,
I ran that team. I ran that team the other day, and I did Red Robin to Shazam taunt, so I can power up the, AOE, and then wait for her turn, and then do the AOE. It's a longer process, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
I
if you
mean-
just kill all the reds, you don't have to worry about it, and then Shazam takes his turn, and now you will never die.
Wait, we're talking about Shazam or Black Adam?
I use
We're talking
Shazam
Oh, Shazam. Okay.
in those teams because I don't have to worry about a Mystic killing Starfire at that point, because Shazam
Oh, okay.
will not die. Once the reds are gone,
Oh.
Shazam won't die.
I, for some reason, was thinking you were saying Black Adam. My team's the same. Replace Shazam with Black Adam. So basically, you do the same order. You Red Robin ramps Starfire. She AoEs everybody, and whoever's not dead, Black Adam goes next because he ramps, and then he AoEs everyone else, and then they should all be dead.
I just been a little more cautious to not lose a character, just because Every now and again there'll be like if Black Adam doesn't die because he doesn't take much damage from Starfire. And if you're higher gun Deadshot, you can't get to him if there's a different taunter. Then sometimes Black Adam will just nuke Starfire. So I've had a few matches where I didn't want to risk it. But usually other teams, if they're not red heavy, then I always run Black Adam. But the red heavy teams, he's a little too squishy because Red Robin will just if you can't nuke him with Starfire, then he'll Red Robin always seems to do his little flip punch and kill Black Adam too easy. All right, guys. Well, anything else about little?
No, I would say don't waste your rings.
I don't think he's that bad. He's just
Niche.
he's another character. He's not great. I mean, I don't know. I want to play with him. I want to test him on a team. Maybe I'll, depending on when that time this video comes out, I'll try to make some video on it. Well, actually, I can't because I need him to be Legendary 5. So at a later date, I want to, because I didn't take his heal immunity once because I was testing the affinity stuff. But I want to mess with it. I want to try to make a Dr. Fate team where I'm using.
I was using Dr. Fate this morning with him.
How'd it go?
It didn't go well.
Yeah.
Squishy blues.
I was in Blitz, and I was just messing around, and I was using Fate with Mary, Freddy, and Supergirl, and
My problem is
just
Supergirl
didn't
never
work.
seems to do anything, so I'm not going to use Supergirl when I make that Dr.
Well,
Fate
she's
team.
one of the bonus tunes,
Yeah.
so I was using 3 bonus tunes plus Fate.
I'm going to try it with Junior and with Black Manta and Dr.
That's a
Fate.
good idea.
I think that might work because Dr. Fate or Black Manta seems to get tons and tons and tons of heal immunity too. And then you could run a good taunter to keep him alive.
I think they should rework Fate again because they reworked they
should
didn't
bring back his
rework
old
him.
kit. Bring
They
back his old kit.
flat out took him out of the game and introduced a new Dr. Fate
But I would love
who
to
is
see,
terrible.
and maybe they could do this as like a raid reward or something ridiculous. Do release Dr. Fate and release Joker CPOC, the old versions. So you could have Dr. Fate OG and Joker
Oh,
CPOC
that would
OG.
be great.
And that would be like an unlockable character that, or do it like they do with the skin change. You could like switch them.
Rebirth. Yeah.
Which kits?
Yeah. Do like
You could have him like his basic skin or his non-legendary skin is the old Doctor Fate, and the legendary skin is the new Doctor Fate.
yeah, that would be.
You could do that.
Yeah,
Honestly, that would be so cool. They'll never do it, but that is amazing. I love
Yeah.
that idea.
I mean, I don't even care. Make it another character that I have to pay for. I don't even care. Just that would be so fun to have those characters.
Because the original Dr. Fate was so good. They
Well,
took a
They-
character that was so fun, and they destroyed him. They basically removed them from the game.
Joker was the same way. The old Joker was amazing.
What? No, he was trash before the week work.
Are you kidding me? He was a phenomenal bleeder. There was a red heavy team that I couldn't beat ever. That was, I think it was Hired Gun Deadshot.
Man, I swear you guys are both high on that Black Adam smoke. You,
You
can't
did
think
not.
straight.
You did not. You did not. You weren't even playing when the old Joker was around.
I was not.
So how do you even know he was trash?
I was watching videos from Fanatic Jalapeno.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, we're not going to get into that.
Anyway, you were running High Gun Deadshot on what?
It was Hired Gun Deadshot, CAGA, Supergirl, and Joker CPOC. I couldn't beat it. I couldn't beat that team. That was like the only team I just could not beat. Joker was so ridiculous. He bleeds everywhere. It was insane. He was awesome.
He was significantly better than he is now.
Yeah. Anyways, we were like
All right,
really
guys.
way off
We've
topic
like
here, so-
completely gone off topic 100 times, but that's okay. All right, guys.
right.
I'll talk to y'all later.
See you later.
Alright, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of WROL Broadcasts, a subsidiary of the Oddsman and We Are Legends. To view additional content and support the show, please go to patreon.com WROL broadcasts.